Well, we're on TV, so I guess we should get started. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready as I'll be.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, it's Wednesday, August the 14th. So glad that you're here. Let's see what we're working on today. Two of the country's main railroads are starting to block shipments ahead of a possible lockout coming next week.
Comcast and NBC Universal are taking home their own Olympic gold.
And a new teaser trailer is out for the much anticipated film Wicked. You never know what a morning's going to bring, huh?
It is a busy morning.
Well, like you see the show we have today.
I know.
Crazy. We got a great show. But I was having a great morning. Everything was in line, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, right, 30 seconds and we're on the air.
To get into the studio.
Yeah, here we go. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good so far. Yes, good
Awesome.
so far.
Okay, nice day yesterday.
Yes.
Very nice.
You didn't get caught in the rain cutting the lawn?
No, there was no rain yesterday.
Perfect.
Yay, I didn't have to stand out there and shake my fist at the sky and say, what are you doing to me? No, it didn't happen yesterday. And it doesn't look like we'll get any precipitation today or tomorrow. But wait, as we get toward the weekend, we could get some rain, and we could get a fair bit of precipitation once again out of a moisture-laden system coming at us from the west. But no problems for today. I mean, the sun's not up, obviously. It's just starting to get some light in the sky here. 6:01 is the time. But we will see the sunshine. We should have a blue sky throughout the day today. Temperature today, 28, humidex around 32, 33 degrees for the day. So just an absolutely gorgeous August day, and tomorrow pretty much the same as well. And we'll talk about it coming up. All right, let's talk traffic this morning. 403 Waterdown Road. Toronto-bound lanes obviously busier, but that's just normal for this time of the morning. To our MTO traffic cameras, we'll show you that there's nothing going on through Stony Creek. Top of the Skyway Bridge looks good. We do have a problem in Mississauga. This is the 403 just west of 10. So eastbound lanes in the 403 are Toronto bound towards us here, going past Mavis. What you're looking at is the 403 on the right-hand side. Over on the left-hand side is Centerview Drive, and what you have there, now that it's getting a little bit lighter, is a vehicle that has rolled over and gone into the ditch. So as you can see, we have emergency crews on the scene. We've got the left lane on the 403, the right lane on the 403 coming towards us here, blocked, and the shoulder, obviously a visual distraction for people heading Toronto-bound towards us on the 403. We'll keep our eye on that and any other problems that might arise in traffic, plus the forecast coming up in detail. Right now, the news.
All right, thanks, Brian. Let's get into the news. And the country's two main railways, they have begun blocking shipments ahead of a possible strike or lockout next week. Shippers and producers, they say a railway work stoppage that would really disrupt the country's supply chain, halting freight traffic and disrupting industries. Canada National Railway and Canada Pacific Kansas City say they have begun halting hazardous goods shipments from the U.S. Late last week, both railways warned that they will lock out some 9,300 workers coming up on August the 22nd, lending weight to a threat of a work stoppage by employees unless they find common ground on new contracts.
At a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new animal hospital in the township of King City, Premier Doug Ford made a sarcastic remark suggesting patients could use the animal hospital for MRIs and CT scans.
By the looks of it, we know where we can send the overflow patients now for MRIs and CAT scans and everything else, so keep an extra room for some other patients.
He means human patients. It comes a day after the Canadian Union of Public Employees reported that health workers are overworked and the healthcare system in Ontario is in crisis. The union cites staffing shortages as a major issue, and the report highlights that Ontario has the lowest per-person hospital spending among all Canadian provinces.
Well, despite the economic hardships many Ontarians are facing, the province's finance minister released the first quarter financial update saying that the budget remains on track as forecasted for the year.
Ontario is in an enviable position and our finances are in excellent shape. Our projections for revenues, program spending and borrowing, cost of borrowing, are all on track with the forecast from the 2024 budget.
Yeah, Finance Minister Peter Bethenfall, the credited high exports and increased household spending for the province's slight real GDP growth. However, the $9.8 billion deficit, that remains unchanged, and the Tories do say that fiscal projections are on target.
Where's all the money going? I mean, we're seeing people, can't get into closed hospital emergency departments, homeless encampments are everywhere, and yet this government says finances are great, everything's good, we're on track.
So that's our political analyst, Keith Leslie. We are just a week away before Ontario's municipalities meet for a major conference. The Ford government faces growing calls to address the financial struggles of cities. Poverty crisis is expected to be a real issue at next week's meeting taking place in Ottawa.
So what do I agree with is that we increased the funding for mental health and addiction. I increased it up to $525 million a year. That's over a 10-year period. That's $3.8 billion. Is there more to do? Absolutely.
So the annual Ontario Municipalities Conference begins this Sunday. Association says a record number of delegates are expected to attend and has requested 900 private delegations with provincial ministers who are attending.
Hamilton City Council has deferred a decision on a proposed townhouse development in Waterdown until next month. At a meeting yesterday, dozens of neighbors who opposed the 18-unit plan took their concerns to Hamilton City Hall. They're worried about water drainage and traffic safety. Their Ward 15 councillor, Ted McMeekin, supports their arguments, saying the plan is not suitable. In 2018, an earlier plan by Hawk Ridge Homes was poorly received by the neighborhood. The developer says their revised plan addresses previous concerns. Council has deferred its decision until September 17th, suggesting the developer meet again with nearby residents. Well, as development continues at Hamilton's Pier 8, people had a chance last night to see the work being done during a mini open streets event. And there's another one coming up next Tuesday night. The roads will be closed again to vehicles, creating a pedestrian and cyclist-friendly area. Both events are organized by Open Streets Hamilton and Smart Commute Hamilton. Just like last night, there will be free yoga classes and e-scooter demos, encouraging more people to explore the new waterfront park. Well, the Paris Olympics were a huge ratings hit in North America. CBC says 27 million Canadians watched its coverage. We consumed a record-breaking 24.3 million hours of content on the CBC's free digital and streaming platforms. That's an increase of over 170% from the Tokyo Games and 121% from Beijing 2022. Now, in the U.S., NBC Universal says an average of 30.6 million people watched its daily coverage. That's 82% more viewers than the Summer Olympics 3 years ago in Tokyo.
It's all thanks to Snoop Dogg. Who knew?
Yes.
Well, listen, with the Olympics going to LA in 2028, those numbers are going to continue to grow. So it's nice to see that the Olympics are back in the forefront after the pandemic really affected Beijing and Tokyo over the past couple of years. But the Winter Olympics, they come up next, and those are in Milan, Italy. So another good location. All right, let's get into a sports line on this Wednesday. Blue Jays continue their series in LA against the Angels last night, and a couple hot players stayed that way, including Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
He knows he's locked in.
Swing and a drive. Get up, ball. Get out of here. And this one is gone.
Number 24 for Vladdy, and after ending his 22-game hit streak on Sunday, he started a new one, helping the Jays dominate the Angels the past 2 games. Listen, he wasn't the only one. How about newbie Will Wagner? Coming off a 3-hit big league debut on Monday, he added 2 more, including this double to bring in a couple of runs in the first, all part of a dominating 6-1 win over the Halos. Kevin Gausman, he had a great outing, not allowing a run in his 7 innings for his 11th win of the year. Some drama, though, in the 7th when George Springer, he was hit on the foot with a pitch. But it was not called a hit with a pitch, so there was a review, and the umpires deemed it didn't hit him. And he didn't like that. He had a few things to say before getting tossed from the game. Then he got really angry. He might be hearing from the commissioner's office on this little freak out. Good news is the Jays go for the sweep tonight. Jose Barrios
seems to be okay.
yeah, seems to be moving around okay, but Jose Barrios, they go for the sweep tonight. All right, cooler heads prevailed. Big news for the CFL yesterday. How great is this? Oakville native Nathan Rourke is returning to the league, signing a 3-year deal with the BC Lions, making him the highest-paid quarterback starting next season. The 26-year-old, so he has temporarily put his NFL dreams on pause after being released by Atlanta on Sunday. So he returns to a league that he dominated back in 2022 with the Lions, winning the most outstanding Canadian after playing 10 games and tossing 25 touchdown passes. This kind of throws the QB market in the league upside down as he has a chance to start on Sunday against Winnipeg, which makes the future of injured Lions QB Vernon Adams Jr., who is having an MVP season up in the air. But wonderful to see such a talented Canadian quarterback back in the mix. All right, what about the quarterback story here in Steeltown? Well, we know Bo Levi Mitchell has lost his starting gig, at least for now, after getting pulled in the first quarter after another loss to Montreal on Saturday. So in came Taylor Powell. Ended up looking pretty good, tossing a couple touchdowns and over 300 yards in the air, despite the Tabbies falling to 2-7 on the year. So Powell will be under center Saturday at Tim Hortons Field when the 2-7 Edmonton Elks arrive. But there's no QB battle, according to Powell.
I'm never battling against Bo. I'm trying to learn from Bo. You know, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. You know, the least I can do is just listen to him and watch him and, you know, and then just listen to Scott and try to be a sponge. That's all I try to be, is just learn and have no ego and approach it, you know, because I can get it better in a lot of areas and I want to.
I'm still, you know, still trying to mull over the feelings of it all. I think, you know, am I happy about it? Obviously not. You know, it's a lot of work put in over a long amount of time, you know, trying to get myself to a certain way, to do things a certain way. And it, you know, worked out there in the beginning. You know, Scott just didn't like what he saw there in the last, you know, game and a quarter, you know, however long it might have been.
Now, it is a battle for the worst in the league, though, Saturday at the Donut Box. But the Elks, they come to town winners of 2 straight games. And a little bit later this morning, the Maple Leafs will begin holding a press conference at Real Sports to announce that they have a new captain. Number 34 will be the 26th captain of the original 6 franchise. Austin Matthews will be the first American to wear the C and only the second non-Canadian after Matt Sundin. Current captain John Tavares said to be involved in this decision. It'll be interesting to see if he's actually there in attendance. Yeah. Not the first time the Leafs have taken the captaincy away from a player. The last time that happened was Rick Vive back in the 80s. And we will have the 50-goal man on the show over the phone coming up just after 8 o'clock this morning.
6:12. Okay, let's get you into this 14th morning of August here. We're looking at fairly clear skies, sun not quite up yet. Start with traffic. 403 Waterdown Road, our exclusive camera, doing okay right there. That's just normal volume. And I'm going to flip you around some of our MTO traffic cameras from St. Catharines. We'll look at QEW Ontario, Midland Road, Stony Creek, Brand Street through Burlington, Ford Plant, Oakville, 427 going through Mississauga. However, the big problem here, and we don't have as many emergency vehicles on the scene. What we have is a vehicle right there in the center in the ditch. It's rolled over into the ditch, and what you're looking at is the eastbound or Toronto-bound 403 coming towards us that is really busy. We've got the right lane, right shoulder blocked. Also a blockage on the left side, and that is Centerview, I believe it's Centerview Road, Centerview Road. They've got emergency vehicles on the scene there as well, and that is a visual distraction, obviously. So that's the only problem we have right now. No problems temperature-wise. Temperature right now sitting at 15 degrees. The sun's not quite up yet, but it's going to be a sunny sky today. Light breezes, relative humidity up there at 100%. Air quality today in the moderate risk category for today, so the air quality is not quite as good as yesterday. That ridge of high pressure is going to slowly move its way towards the east, and it's going to help to bring up the temperature a bit, but we're watching that system to the west. That's going to bring us some showers as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It looks like we're going to still get some showers. So we could get a fair bit of precipitation out of that. Look at these temperatures today, 28 and 29 degrees. Humidex values in the around 33 for the day today, but gorgeous sunshine. Tonight, skies will be clear. Temperatures 13 to 15 degrees. A little cooler for Guelph and Kitchener as usual, 17 for Toronto. And then tomorrow, another beautiful day. 29 for Niagara, 27, 28 rest of the Horseshoe. Lovely sunshine, hardly any cloud cover. Looks beautiful. Couple of great August days coming up. So stepping out the door, 14th of the month here, we're looking at fairly clear skies. It's sun's coming up. Temperature right now sitting at 15. And we'll look, obviously, at the long-range forecast coming up. Annette, Tim.
Okay, thanks very much.
And Emily Vukovic.
Hello. Hi, good morning. We are going to be chatting about a potential new biopic for renowned chef Anthony Bourdain. We are also going to be discussing a brand new season for Only Murders in the Building. I'm like beyond excited for this. And we're also going to be checking out the heartthrob in theaters Wicked.
Okay. Good stuff. We'll see you at the couch in a little bit there, Em. Coming up after the break, though, Ford and Mazda have issued a do not drive advisory for thousands of vehicles affected by the latest airbag recall. That and other business news in 2. 6:17 on your Wednesday. Here's some numbers for you. Canadian dollar, it's up 6 basis points, trading at 72.93 cents US. Gold up almost $10, 25.17.30 an ounce. Crude oil up 66 cents, 79.01 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe. Markets are up across the board in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, the markets were up in Tokyo, but down in Hong Kong and Shanghai. Checking North American markets, the TSX was up 219 points. The Dow added over 400. The Nasdaq also up more than 400 points.
Well, good morning. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday. Let's get into some business news. And we start on the roads because Ford and Mazda, they are warning thousands of owners of older vehicles in Canada and the U.S. not to drive them because they have dangerous airbag inflators that have not been replaced. So the inflator can explode with too much force in a crash, shooting metal fragments that can severely injure or possibly kill somebody. The warning, it covers more than 374,000 Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles from the 2004 through 2014 model years. Around 71,000 Mazda vehicles and 160,000 Ford vehicles are all parts of this recall in Canada. All the vehicles were recalled previously, but repairs have not been completed.
CRTC is expanding an earlier decision that allows smaller internet providers to use their rivals' fiber networks. So starting in February, major telecom companies using fiber networks will have to allow their competitors access to their networks for a fee. The ruling affects companies across the country, including Bell, TELUS, and SaskTel. Previously, the ruling only applied to TELUS in Ontario and Quebec. The decision will only impact existing fiber networks.
The Ontario Teachers Pension Plan, it's the board, it posted a 4.2% net return for the first 6 months of the year, totaling $10.8 billion. Ontario teachers, they say it had $255.8 billion in total net assets. This was as of June the 30th. Chief Executive Joe Taylor says these results, they do reflect an ability by the fund to generate positive returns in a range of market conditions. The Ontario Teachers Federation and the Ontario government sponsored the fund and said last month the valuation, it would be filed with regulators while electing to classify the surplus as a contingency reserve.
Cargojet has reported a $25 million loss in the second quarter. That is down from a $31 million profit a year ago. The Mississauga-based air, freight, and plane leasing company says its revenues rose to $230.8 million compared to almost $210 million last year. Cargojet's co-CEO says geopolitical changes and the economy itself are affecting the overall transportation industry. Earlier this year, Cargojet signed a 3-year deal with Great Vision HK Express for charter flights between Vancouver and China.
That's some business stories on this Wednesday. Okay, taking a break. When we come back, Brian, does he have a forecast for you today? Even tomorrow? Maybe not so nice come the weekend.
There's time.
Okay.
Time to change it.
Oh.
Good morning. Coming up on 624, looking at the one problem that we have. This is the 403 Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us on the 403, just west of 10. So you're coming past Mavis toward Highway 10. What you're seeing is a vehicle into the ditch there. Now that it's getting light, we can get a better idea of what has happened here. Visual distraction for the 403. But what's happened is that vehicle in the ditch there, that's come off Centerview Road. And as you can see, look at that big gap in the fence there, right in the middle. vehicle. It's gone through the fence, down into the ditch. You can see with the vehicle there, the airbags have deployed. It doesn't look like there's any attempt to get it toward it, so they must have the people out of there. But as you can see, it's a distraction now for the eastbound 403, but at least they've opened up the right lane now. And of course, the problem there being on Centerview Road as well. So that's the only problem that we have right now. Everything else is moving quite nicely. Let's get to our temperatures that we have at the moment, getting you into this Wednesday morning. 15 for Hamilton, 16 Mississauga, 17 to 18 for Grimsby. Seasonal temperatures for this time of year are 25 for the daytime high. We beat that yesterday. And 15 for the overnight low. Those are our sun times, 6:25 and 8:23, and our records for today. Okay, let's get you going. Time for your walk this morning. Beautiful morning heading out for a walk. Lovely sunshine. Temperature right now sitting at 15 degrees. So the forecast. Today 28, humidex at 33. A little bit warmer than yesterday, but lovely sunshine. Clear and 13 tonight. Tomorrow again, blue skies and sunshine, 27, 32. A couple of great August days. So by the time we get to Friday, we lose the sun, gain the clouds and showers. 26 Friday, 25 both days, and showers throughout the day, both Saturday and Sunday, and even showers lingering into Monday. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Okay, now on to traffic of a more valuable kind. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, it's selling off some of its prized possessions. I notice Brian is very interested in this story.
He's a bit of a gearhead on the team here. So that is a 1954 Mercedes-Benz worth up to $70 million. That's among the historic cars set for Sotheby's auction. The W196 Streamliner is chief among the selection of some of the world's most desirable cars up for sale. The museum has decided to sell 11 of them. Now, the head of auctions at Sotheby's says they will be some of the world's most significant cars ever sold. They will be sold at different events late this year and into 2025.
Hey, while Brian checks his bank account.
Yeah, just trade in the Studebaker, bud. Trade in the Studebaker.
Trade in the Studebaker.
He's not trading in the Studebaker.
No. Oh, okay. So don't trade in the Studebaker, and then, I don't know. Let's get a GoFundMe page for Brian so he can buy one of those cars. Okay. 1/2 hour down, lots more to come. We got a great and busy show for you on this Wednesday. Hope you can stick around. We'll see you in a bit.